Another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, give my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. And I hope you're having a great new year. And today, I got a fan request to check out the 101 most popular project in all the games. That is Crazy Museum, the arcade series. Embark on a thrilling museum heist adventure with this pixel art board game that will take you back to ... So I really hate this description right here. You don't need to mention it's a pixel art board game. I can very clearly see the art style that you're trying to go here for. Instead, I'd love to know the player count, the time link, the age, the mechanisms. It's a heist game. What does that mean? Is it a deck builder? Is it a cooperative? Is it one versus all? Is it tile laying? You know, it looks like it's tile laying, but in the form of square cards. There's just so much more that could be conveyed. Also, this box here. I wouldn't put the box there because I can't tell. Is that a small box? Is that a large box that you just shrunk it down? Also, why is the name of your game taking up roughly 40%, 30% of your space here? I definitely feel like we could have utilized this space a little bit better. Now, I don't know how we could have utilized that space better, but as we go through the project, I'll be like, oh, that would have been a great thing to spotlight. Presumably, this is going to have a fantastic price as well, because looking at the components, I imagine we're in for a very good price. I'm also very intrigued by the 147 on the box. When you rank Kickstarters, what sorting do you have to set it to? I go by popularity. I look at it by popularity, and that they compile all these games together. I don't exactly know how the popularity chart works, but I have read a couple articles about how they scrape that together. I think there's one actually down in the links below. It has to do with like engagement and a bunch of other different stuff like that. But the main image is it's fine. It's not the worst I've seen, but it definitely could be spruced up. As always, though, when I go in the video, I'm thinking three things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? 147. I'm intrigued. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Susanna, co-creator of Crazy Museum.
Okay, I would immediately have subtitles. I can understand that you're Susanna and you're a creator of this, but I'm a native English speaker, and if someone's not a native English speaker and you're not a native English speaker, which I'm assuming here, that can make it somewhat difficult. So I would always do subtitles, especially for a video this short. Once again, if I were on Game Founder Backer Kit, it wouldn't be an issue because they let you integrate YouTube videos, but Kickstarter is a dinosaur.
For 1 to 4 players.
Great. I'd put that on the marquee somewhere. Solo, I immediately know it's a solo game. I'm a little bit more intrigued by it.
That brings the excitement.
And I love the fact that we're immediately just getting down to the components. And yes, once again, I think we probably put the price on the main image there because I imagine we're going to have a very solid price here. This looks like a fun little setup area, though.
Of the classic arcades to your board game.
I gotta rewind real quick. I really have to focus on what she's saying.
The excitement of the classic arcades to your museum. A competitive game for 1 to 4 players that brings the excitement of the classic arcades to your board game table.
The excitement of the classic arcades to your board game table. Okay, and I like the music in the background. Kickstarter does not do a good job of advertising that they have their own subtitle feature. What? What? Where? I see no buttons that say subtitle. What? There's no subtitles here. Or can you do that in the back end? Is that what you're saying?
In Crazy Museum, each player has to take the role of a thief trying to steal more relics than your opponents while avoiding the museum's devoted guard. To do that, you'll have to carefully plan your strategy, as every action has a cost in tokens, and there's a limited amount of this. Use the different power-ups available in the museum to help you in your mission, or to hinder.
Okay, so you said use your power-ups, but I don't, what are you showing? Are these power-ups? What do they do? I'd love, I don't know what that is.
Help you in your mission.
I'm excited about power-ups, though. That gives me some asymmetry. You have to make them. They didn't. Oh, okay. Good
or
to know.
To hinder your opponent. Try to survive the increasing chaos of this crazy museum and get out with the most valuable relics to proclaim yourself the best thief in the world. And did I mention there's a terrible mommy too?
There's a terrible what? See, this is why subtitles, a terrible something, too. And it's so cute. Let's see if I can hear it. I'm really focused.
Thief in the world. And did I mention there's a terrible mommy too?
A terrible mommy?
Spooky.
Mummy! Terrible mummy. Okay, that's a mummy. Got it. It's a little hard to tell with the 6-bit graphic. It also looks like he's flipping you off. That mummy's giving me the bird.
Spooky.
Okay. I don't have an issue. I like the personal touch there. I think subtitles would be nice there. It's a fine video. Do I want the game? Yes. I think we should have mentioned the cost there as well, because I really feel like we're probably going to have a really rock solid cost here. for what that game is, because it looks like just minimal.
As
None of these components are that expensive. It's token pop-outs. It's a small box, square cards. Nothing here looks that crazy. Now that is interesting. That you typically don't see. Someone took out $900. Huh. Interesting. All right, so Jordi Figueres. We're Jordi and Susanna, two game enthusiasts who embarked on this exhilarating journey after a lifetime devoted to cinema. Jordi brings his game design skills and unrestrained passion for all things playful, while Susanna contributes her unique creativity and business vision. Together we form Trinidadadas, a project that represents our love. That's not... Is this? We invite you to be part of the vision and support Trinidadadas. This isn't Trinidadadas, is this? This is the arcade series Crazy Museum. So I would update that, because now I'm like, what's Trinidadadas? You haven't created anything else, so I don't know what that is. Oh, is this Trinidadadas? I'm butchering that so much. I'm going to stop saying it. Trencadaus. Is this Trencadaus? No, this is the arcade series. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, so they got a landing page. It is what it is. I personally... Happy New Year! Ahoy, Biodelic! Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, I figured it out eventually. It was Mummy. The so scary part... That kind of helped as well. Ooh, I like the fact we're using these here, so I can't complain too much about the organization because I can go right here to exactly what I want to. So after the video, do I want it? Yeah, it looks fine. I think it's going to be heavily hinged on the price. I'd like to see a gameplay video. I'd like to see a rule booklet, that sort of stuff. But I'm not against it. Can you do it? Once again, this game looks really simple to manufacture, to make. Nothing here is too terribly complex. I think you should probably be able to easily do that for around $8,000. Yeah, it seems about it's fine. All images shown on the Kickstarter page are prototypes, subject to change. Different languages, cool. A full playthrough, fantastic. The night falls over the Grand Museum. It's incredible. Theme, got it. Full gameplay, hour long. Yeah, that's the other thing. I still don't know the time length. I need to know the age of the time length, because I imagine the age is going to be pretty low here. I imagine this could be a family game, and you still haven't mentioned to me that this is a family game. I'm inferring it's a family game, but you should hit me in the face with that, potentially on the marquee, I would say. I wonder if Trendicaus is the company name. Ah, maybe that's it. That makes sense. Incredible 8-grit graphics. So there's the box. Crazy. I still don't have a firm grasp of the size of this box. I'd like to know that. Unique board every time. 60 minutes, 12 ages 12 plus, 1 to 4 players, high replayability. Bring the excitement of a classic arcade game. Got it. Discover a new museum in every game. The Grand Museum is randomly generated as players explore new rooms. Cool. You know what would really help convince me of this? Tell me how many cards there are in the game. Tell me how many cards there are in the game and how many cards I'm going to use in the game. Because is it every single card I'm going to use in the game and they're just randomly organized? Because if that's the case, yeah, whatevs. But that's something that hopefully we get that long, sexy scrolling shot where you show me all the components. Each game is of Crazy Museum is unique. All right. The number on the room cards mark their orientation. This orientation must always be respected, even if the doors of both rooms don't align. So now we're just going into like some rules minutia. It reminds me of Zelda. That's good. That's what I want. Upon discovering a new room, a relic token and a random object token will be placed face down upon it. Okay. Thieves' Term. So there's a gameplay. I don't want to forget that. They put a gameplay front and center. I do love that. That's great. It's on YouTube. You can see it. Got subtitles.
Which is pretty perfect. You know, we die.
Wow, a lot of effort put in that video. Great. A lot more effort than I put in my videos. Fantastic. Guards and Mummy's Turn stuff thing. So now we're going, and then, hey, great, rule booklet. So we got a gameplay. We got a rule booklet. What do we got here? All right. How many pages are we looking at? It was like 16 or something. Double-sided. Back of the rule booklet has useful information, action categories. Great. This is all looking good. All looking good here. A lot of text. I'd put some pictures in here, maybe break up the minutia of all the text. But hopefully it's a work in progress, but it looks fine. Watch us presenting the games, videos in Spanish. Great. Thank you for letting me know that. I kind of already knew that based on, the title of it, but still. Play on Tabletopia. What's in the box? So 17 room cards, 17 clash cards, 16 vending machine cards, 8 rat friend cards, 4 player cards. Everything looks to be language independent. 4 action tokens, 8 fabulous standees, 1 rule booklet, 1 quick start guide, pledge levels 10 euros. Whoa, that's a print play. And then 29 euros. Ick. Okay. That doesn't feel like a good price. I didn't say great. It doesn't feel like a good price. It feels like a bad price. You also didn't convert the currencies. You got to realize the majority of people who are going to back this are probably going to be for the United States of America most of the time. Yeah. And yeah, so I'm assuming you're from Spain, which is why you got 21. That's great. But still, majority of people are going to be from the United States of America. 90% of the time you launch a game on Kickstarter. You know, so convert the currencies. I'd have euros, I'd have pounds, I'd have dollars, and if you're worried that the conversion rate, just do that little symbol that somebody's told me, you know, this symbol right here. What is it? That thing. No, not that thing. This thing. The little squiggly line. That guy. Or gal. Or I guess it doesn't have a gender because it's a key on a keyboard. So yeah, it doesn't feel like a good price at all. I wonder if they're what print run they're doing here. Because yeah, 29 euros to dollars. $2. Yeah, $31.75. It doesn't feel like a $31 game, and maybe that's because I still don't feel like I have a firm grasp of the size of this box. 10 copies? Who's buying that? Stretch goals. So main goal, we get to make it. Cool. Spot UV on box. Why? Like, okay, fine. I don't think that's going to move the needle. Like, oh, my box is fancier. I'd much rather have, you know, double-sided something or others, or better components. I mean, because that's not a better box. It's just a fancier-looking box. And once again, who gives a crap? The box most of the time is going to be on your shelf. You're not even going to see the spot UV. So that's just an interesting stretch goal to start with. Stamping on box. Why do I care? Why do I care about stamping on the box? Why do I care about UV on the box? And once again, so that's nearly 5,000 euros over. So not exciting stretch goals here at all. Custom box tray. Now that's much more exciting. Also going to be more expensive, I would imagine, to bump that up from cardboard to plastic. Custom printed meeples. We get to make custom meeples. Yeah, I would get rid of these. Those are kind of garbage. Those are garbage stretch goals. Like, whatever. Nobody cares about those. Whereas these two, that's organization, and that's just awesome. Custom printed meeples. And I understand those are going to be more expensive, but available languages. Our big dream is to create the game with everyone worldwide. Cool. About us. Instagram. I'm trying to think anything else I'd want. How to play video would be nice. Not completely necessary because once again we have a gameplay video. Preview, always nice, but once again we have a full gameplay video. I can see the game in the flesh. How to Kickstarter. What?
Kickstarter free. To do
Okay. New to Kickstarter? Probably not. Probably not. Wow, 21 to 48. I'm gonna guess that that's a lot of the people that are close to you, which is fine. Or either that, or they're fudging with the numbers. Which once again, this just screams someone fudging with the numbers. But the thing is, I don't know why you're fudging with the numbers this early. Typically, what you want to do is you want to put the money in early. Well, I imagine it's unethical and probably against Kickstarter's terms of services, but who the hell cares? Everybody does it. Wink, wink, nod, nod. You want to pull the money out after you're funded. So it's just odd that, I don't know, that's just, you don't see that very often. When a company loses, what is that? That's more than 50%. Like, that is a straight gut punch there, from 1,600 to 726. I agree, it smells like someone who made their first game, but at least did a little bit of their homework in regards to making Kickstarter. Yeah, this looks much better than a lot of the other Kickstarters that I've seen. Like, there was definitely some look into what industry standard probably looks like, I think. But yeah, that price, I would go to a different manufacturer potentially. Either that or be more realistic about your print run. But then again, their funding goal isn't that huge either. So, I don't know. It's weird. That price just does not seem good. Like, as someone who works for a board game manufacturer, like that, for the components that you have, like, none of these are expensive. At all. Those are all very, very cheap components. And I wonder if they're printing it in Spain. Hopefully they have some more information about where they're printing it. Shortly after the campaign closes, you'll gain access to the Pledge Manager. Estimated shipping. Where's the U.S.? Remember, that's the bread and butter. I know you're from Spain. Oh, yeah, there it is. So the price went from being not good to being terrible. Like, this is a god-awful price. And nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to say that. Some people won't say that, which is why you should click on the subscribe button, because I'm not going to bust your balls or whatever you got down there. But this is a $57 game. No, it does not feel like a $57 game. You got to find out a way to lower that price. And because we're looking at $60 for this, and I still don't even feel like I know the size of the game. What's the 147 on there? What the hell is that 147? I'm so confused. What does it say? Is there anywhere where we zoomed into the 147? Were they just trying to make it look like an NES cartridge or something? I don't even know. MOQ is such a double-edged sword. If you want more, it's cheaper, but how many are you going to sell? Yep. It's a good point. It's a good point, but either way, this game is not... You don't need $57. Unless you're making this by hand. No, even if you're making this by hand, you don't need $57 to make this game. Period. Just end of the discussion. So they really need to lower their price. And now I see why they didn't have the price on the main image, because it's not a great price. I wonder what size box they're using. That really... Interesting. And not in a good way. Partners, Flutter Studio, Kick and Go. Ooh, I've never heard of Kick and Go. Interesting. Adapted to your projects. Kick's Pledge Manager, the most complete tools to communicate with your backers. Interesting. Never heard of them. Two manufacturers. While I work with experienced manufacturers, there's always the possibility. I'd love to know who you're manufacturing with, because it's just, that price is really bad. I think that's just the biggest thing here. Everything else looks fine. Like, this looks fine. This is a decent funding goal. Wait, why do we have so much? What is this? Is this? Oh, this is that's in Spanish, I'm guessing, and this is in English. Oh. Are you doing two versions of the game? Why don't you just make the rule booklet half Spanish, half English? Oh, I guess the boxes and stuff, too. All right, let's check out the FAQ updates, comments, give this one a grade. How do I change my reward? Can I order multiple copies? Why does the pledge manager work with the many stretch goals? Can you provide... All these things are already answered in there. Why are they... Find them in the stretch goal section. If someone's that lazy that they can't find the... Yeah, whatever. Is there a solo mode? Yes, it's a 1 to 4 player game. Obviously, there's a solo mode. Now, once again, that's why I would spotlight it right on the marquee. 1 to 4 players. Will it be in other languages? Cool. Updates. I would organize that like Reload from Colossal Games, but it's 11, so it's not that big of a deal. New Year's cheers and a backer-driven update. This update is available in 2 languages. Hello. First and foremost, we want to extend our warmest new adventures. We've got some thrilling updates to share. One of our awesome backers slid into our DMs to chat about Crazy Museum. As we're still on the hunt for a shipping service that's USA, Canada, and Australia friendly, this backer contacted us. Well, I hate to be that guy. I hate to feel like I'm shoving Hero Time Manufacturing down your throat, but Hero Time Manufacturing can handle all of your fulfillment needs. So be sure to send me an email. I should probably put that link down below. I really should. Because, yeah, that $25, that's a death nail. That's just a straight-up death nail. Let's see. Is it better in the UK, at least? I imagine if they're from Spain, they probably at least have some good Europe and UK shipping. I didn't really look at it that much because it was just that sticker shock from the United States of America. Portugal, UK, $13. Okay, it's fine. What do every manufacturers market themselves to creators? Well, that's something that we are going to heavily do. Kind of part of the reason why they hired me. You know, I'm the Kickstarter guy. Happy New Year. I don't know why I did air quotes. Happy holiday. I just feel so weird. And everyone's like, why, you're not a Kickstarter expert. And I'm like, I don't call myself a Kickstarter expert, even though my boss told me to apply. So right now I have an application with Kickstarter where I would get labeled as a Kickstarter expert, whatever the heck that means. So fingers crossed. So we are getting very little engagement here at all. We have 2 comments on 6 updates. That's really, really poor. Now I understand there's not many people in here, but I was in with a question. Hello, friends. 2 weeks have passed since we launched this campaign, so what have been doing? Read on. Game Club Adventures. During this time, we have a chance to play Crazy Museum with a few game clubs. We're happy to have more dates booked to visit more. Rules are changing. We thought the game was Chef's Kiss, but it turns out there's a little bit of salt missing, so we've been changing the recipe. Oh. Okay. That's both good and bad. I think more on the bad side. Like, if it's like, yeah, we were playtesting it and we realized it's not as good as we thought it was, and so now we're going to change some stuff up. And it's like, now immediately in my mind, I'm like, well, how much have you been playtesting this before you launched it? Realize the campaign makes no sense if you don't get our comfort zone so you can meet us. That's why we started creating content for you. So far, we've uploaded a few videos on our YouTube channel so you can better understand the intricacies of Crazy Museum. I would just go with a different manufacturer or lower that price, because that's the death nail. $60 for this game is not it. Like, that is a god-awful price. And I hate to keep saying that, but let's really break down what's in this game. It is 34, that's 60, 68 cards, 4 player boards, some pop-out. This is all just token sheets. Dirt cheap cubes, and these are token sheets. couple token sheets, couple cards, couple cubes. This is about as cheap as you're going to get. A rule booklet and a quick start guide. Yeah, this is just a terrible price. I would heavily recommend. Oh yeah, Tabletop Simulator is great too. Oh yeah, it's great. I forgot about that. Good stuff. I would 100% recommend going and reaching out to a couple different manufacturers to get different quotes, especially if you can find some more manufacturers like Hero Time who do fulfillment, because that's just an anchor around your neck here. This doesn't look like a terrible project by any stretch of the imagination. It's just the price seems terrible for what I'm getting in the box, and I still don't know exactly the size of the box, because the bottom line is, if I'm spending $60 and this is the size box that I think it is, which is going to be like a small box like this, I'm annoyed. And the game doesn't look great enough that I would even take a flyer on it. It doesn't look unique enough that I'd take a flyer on it. So yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like the price is really what's killing this one. So do I want it? It looks fine. It does. It looks like a fine game. It looks like... It doesn't look like it's going to rock anybody's world, but it looks like a fine game. Can you do it? Yeah. $8,000 should be enough to make this game. Because once again, the component-wise, these components, every single one of these components, most manufacturers are not going to have to source. So I'll leave you a little behind the scenes of manufacturing board games. There's source products and there's non-source products. Non-source products are things you print, like cards and boards and such like that. Source projects are things that they order. So let's say, felt bags or something like that. So they would go and they'd order a bunch of felt bags, and that would be a source project, as opposed to cards, which are going to be a non-source project, and it's always cheaper if you go non-source because, it's in-house sort of thing. End of the day, final grade for this one. Do I want it? Can you do it? Yeah. And then how much is it? Oh, God, no. So it's not a terrible grade. We're not in the FD range. I think we're in the C. I think maybe a C minus. Yeah, I'm going to go with C minus. It's fine. They got a lot of stuff they need. It looks pretty good. But that price is that price cancels everything out. You got to lower that price. You got to lower that shipping, because it's not just the shipping too. Like, even if you got that shipping down to say $10 for the United States of America, this still does not look like a $47 game. And if you told me this was a pandemic size box, then it's different. Then my question is, why do you need such a large box? And then that's a different nitpick. But yeah, as it stands right now, I'm going to go with a C minus on this one. I heard 1,000 playtest is the minimum. Kevin. Maybe for published games, but on Kickstarter, I swear, I feel like some of these rule booklets that I get, because I do a Fiverr service. I don't do it now because I'm just stupid busy. Some of these rule booklets, like, I've talked to some of these people, like, yeah, I played it a couple times with my friends. We're launching the Kickstarter next month. And it's like, oh. Well, there you go. Final grade for this one, I'm going with a C minus. Let me know in the comments below what's your final grade for Crazy Museum. Also, quick show note, we are not going to be here on Friday. It's my kid's last day out of school, so we're going to go do something special. And so no show on Friday. Also, if you have any comments, suggestions on what you would like to see covered, please let me know in the comments below, because we are scraping the bottom of the barrel. Not necessarily dogging on this project, just because there's not much to cover on Kickstarter Game Found Backer Kit right now. But as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Oh yeah, that was Jamie. That's because Jamie doesn't put out crap most of the time. Jamie really playtests the snot out of his things. But as always, bye-bye. Oh wait, which one do I close? Oh my gosh, there's so many. There it is.